Evening class, as you can see, I survived eye surgery, so that's a plus. But today, I'm going to speak to you all about a person who is near and dear to my heart. A person who has overcome extreme adversity in his life, and a person who is a role model to not only myself, but many others that I know. This person who I'm speaking of is my grandfather. Today, in this commemorative speech, I'm going to speak to you all about the history of my family and how my grandfather came to be the person that he is, and then ultimately about my grandfather, and as I said, some of the adversities that he has overcome. So let's dive right into it with the history. So my great-great-grandparents, they were settled in Germany during World War I. Germany at this point was starting to get a lot of the young men and forcing them to fight the war. My great-great-grandparents didn't want anything to do with that, so they packed up all their stuff and their kids and they moved over to Russia. Russia began doing the same thing. And so, at that point, my great-great-grandparents decided that they didn't want anything to do with the war over in Europe. And so they traveled at night, and then during the day they would hide underneath hay bales until they got over to the ferry landings and ultimately took a ferry over to the United States and immigrated to the United States and ultimately settled in South Dakota, North Dakota, and eventually Montana, where I'm originally from. So, that part, my grandfather was not yet born, but this is his parents. They were kids at this point. So, this happened to both of their families. They actually traveled together, which is absolutely crazy because then eventually my grandfather's parents, they became a family. So it all kind of worked out. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go in with my grandfather. So my grandfather only went to school through the 8th grade. His parents barely spoke any English. His mom only spoke German. His dad only spoke broken English. So my grandfather only went to school through the 8th grade. Decided to drop out to work on the farm to help out his family. That's his first milestone. Second milestone is he eventually graduated, got his GED, and he became I guess you would say, a pilot, just flying little crop dusters around. So he got his VFR license to be able to fly a crop duster around the farm and be able to help out his father that way, which was kind of cool. After that, he went into the oil fields and he became an oil field worker and then retired from the oil fields. So with that, it shows that somebody can come from almost nothing, 8th grade, all the way up to their retirement and being a role model, working hard. What does that mean? Hard work, you can pretty much get through anything at that point. So for me, he's been a role model as far as the hard work standpoint. And also just overcoming adversity. Education wasn't as huge as it was today, so he decided to help out his family on the farm so his family didn't lose the farm. He knew kind of his place and where he stood in the world. Also, not really knowing any English from his parents, being able to translate, and then ultimately passing on the genes that he has to myself, being a hard worker, and so I owe that man a lot. He taught me a lot of life lessons as far as being respectful to others, and that is why I commemorate my grandfather for this. So today, I covered the history of my grandfather's family, of my family, and how they became immigrants in the United States, and then also how my grandfather is a role model and how I commemorate him through a lot of the adversities that he has had to overcome. Thank you. I look forward to listening to all your speeches, and hopefully I can be able to read your outlines. I'll definitely work on that. So anyway, have a great week.